Okay, so hello everyone. Good day. So today no, may ara kita sang continuation sang aton nga discussion last on our last video, which is on the separate and consolidated financial statements date of acquisition. Ano? So this is the part 2. So I will focus here on the computation or sa problems na no. Ang gin-focus ko lang din taga ko priority is ang computation of the goodwill and the computation of the non-controlling interest. No? So, amo nang mabalaan nyo yan da. So, ang focus ko ngayon is to make sure that you fully understand the concept of the goodwill, no? Ang goodwill pag-abot sa separate and consolidated financial statement and the concept of the non-controlling interest. So, let's proceed. So, by the way, this is just a short video relating for the problems. So let's proceed. So illustration 1. No? So fair value of non-controlling interest in a subsidiary is not given. So let's start. So Par Company acquires 80% of Sun Company for 10 million pesos. So the carrying value of Sun Company's net assets at the time of acquisition being 6 million and the fair value is 8 million. No? So may difference nga 2 million between the fair value and the book value of the Sun Company. Please take note nga si Par Company, no? Sino di si Par Company? Par Company is the investor and Sun Company is the investee, no? Si Par Company ang magiging parent, si Sun Company ang magiging subsidiary, no? So let's compute for the goodwill kung may exist nga goodwill and let's compute for the non-controlling interest of Sun Company, no? So please take note nga ang total nga ginbakal ni Par Company is 80% of the total shares ni Sun Company. So given pa lang diri sa 80%, no, automatically si Par Company is may ara sang control over Sun Company. Just a quick review sa aton nga first video about date of acquisition ng ang aton diging tagaan focus is only on the investment nga may control. No, kay once nga wala ikaw control over a company, wala sang may i-compute nga like this, no? As long nga wala sang parent and subsidiary relationship between two companies, wala sang consolidation nga matabo, no? Siya. So first, let's compute no the goodwill using the partial goodwill method, no? Sa partial goodwill method. So using no sang formula ang on the computation of the goodwill, ang pinagid kauna is pila pala no ang gin-transfer nga cash. So hambal diri kay partial goodwill ang gamiton naton is dang 80% lang no ang ginbakal niya. So ang consideration nga gin-transfer ni Par is cash. So pila 10 million. No amo na siya 80% of Sun Company 10 million less the book value of stockholders equity which is 6 million, di ba? Ang 6 million, please take note ng 6 million ginaya is 100% sang kay Sun Company. So ang ginbakal ni Par is only 80%. That's the reason why gin-multiply ang book value ni Sun Company ang iyang net assets. Okay, when we say of net assets, the more an equity na niya, no? So 80% multiplied by the 6 million total equity ni Sun is 4,800,000. So the difference between the consideration transferred and the book value sa ginbakal ni Sun, ni Par I mean, no, is of 4,800,000. The difference is that is ang ginatawag naton nga allocated excess, no? Ano pa diyon? Less ko no over or under valuation kung overvaluation gani sang fair value gina minus no, pero kung undervaluation gina-add mo siya. No, may difference nga between the fair value and the book value ni Sun Company nga 2 million, di ba? So 8 million less the 6 million nga book value multiply by 80%. Naman 80% gani kitungod 80% pala ang bakal ni Par Company. So total that is 1/6. So the difference between the allocated excess and the valuation over or undervaluation of the net assets no of Sun Company amo na siya ang ginatawag nga goodwill no? Partial goodwill. Kaya nga man partial goodwill kitungod gin based na lang niya sa 80%, no? And please take note nga hambalaton, when using partial goodwill method, wala kita may i-allocate nga goodwill for the non-controlling interest, no? But we will still compute for the non-controlling interest. Muna siya mag-compute. So ang book value niya, which is 6 million, no? Plus the fair plus the adjustment, or mabase na kita lang niya automatically sa fair value, multiply by 20%, no? Ang non-controlling interest will be allocated at 1,600,000. So kung mag-record kina, dara ka na mabase. Pag pinamangkot ka sa problem, how much is the value of the non-controlling interest, no, using the partial goodwill method? Ang sawat is 1.6. How much is the goodwill? It's 3,600,000. Now, what if ang gingamit nga ambal sang problem full goodwill method, or ginambalaton full goodwill method ang fair value method? What if pag may naaton nga basihan? So how will we compute for the goodwill and the non-controlling interest? First, consideration transferred, 12.5. Sir nga man 12.5. No? It's because ang 10 million, ang 10 million nga consideration nga gin-transfer ni PAR is only for the 80%. No? So kwaon nato niya da kay tungod full goodwill method aton gamiton, or full or fair value method aton gamiton, kinahanglan ta na siya i-divide by 80% to get the 100% sa tunggin invest ni PAR, no? Pero hindi na siya considered nga amo ni ang gihatag niya cash, no? Kay 10 million lang ang gin-invest ni PAR company. Now, less the book value 6 million. Naman 6 na yan ang gigamit kagina is 4 million lang kay tungod 100% atong gamiton. So the difference between the fair value and the consideration transferred and the book value ni Sun Company, amo siyang aton nga allocated excess less the over and undervaluation na 4.5. Please take note lang, no, pag full goodwill method gani, always na siya 100% ang ginagamit ng mga values. Now, the full goodwill of 4.5 consists of two parts. Anong two parts nga na? Ang para sa goodwill ni parent and ang goodwill ni non-controlling interest. Lagi na sa partial nga goodwill method nga gingamit naton, wala kita nag-consider sa ginatawag nga goodwill for the non-controlling interest. But this time, using the full or the fair value method, may ara sang goodwill nga i-allocate for the non-controlling interest, no, which is 900,000. But take note of this, no? The same lang man gani iya ang goodwill nga gamiton for the parent, which is the 3,600,000. Are 3,600,000, no? Pero using the full goodwill method, no, ang difference lang nila is that kinanglan lang naton mag-allocate goodwill for the non-controlling interest. Kagina siya partial goodwill, wala kita i-considered nga goodwill for the non-controlling interest. But this time duha aton goodwill for the parent, no, and goodwill for the subsidiary, no, muna siya. Now, the non-controlling interest, ang pamangkot, no, pila ang value ni non-controlling interest, mutong 1.6, the same computation sang kagina, no, sa partial goodwill ng sa 1.6 plus, no, i-add naton ang fair value, ang goodwill nga nagin-allocate naton, nagin-allocate naton, i-add naton siya sa non-controlling interest para makuha naton ang full or ang full value ni non-controlling interest. So applicable only when the fair value of the non-controlling interest of subsidiary is not given and no control premium, additional or discount or minus included. No? So alternatively, the NCI can be computed as follows. Yan. But you can still compute any method, no? Any method yang nabalaan ninyo, as long that it gives the correct answer and ang process flow is the same, no? Pasok man siya Japon sa answer. And kapag nag-exam, no, always lang kuya ma-focus on the final answer. Okay, multiple choice na siya mo, it's like a board examination nga exam. And always lang niya ang final answer ang musihan. So it should also be noted that this is not an all-encompassing alternative approach. This only applicable depends if there is no control premium or discount included. Now let's go to the illustration 2. So for example, Sun Company has 40% of its share publicly traded on exchange. Pluto Company now purchased the 60% of non-publicly traded shares in one transaction, paying 6,300,000. Based on the trading price of the shares of Sun Company at the date of gaining control, a fair value of 4 million assigned to the 40% non-controlling interest, and indicating that Sun Company has paid a control premium of 300,000. So may control premium siya ng umbrahon. So the fair value of Sun Company's identifiable assets is 7 and a carrying value of 5. Take note, si Sun is the subsidiary and si Pluto will be the parent company. Now, using the partial goodwill method, take note naman liwat ha, sa partial goodwill method, wala kita ga-allocate goodwill for the non-controlling interest. So how to compute sang goodwill, no? So consideration transferred cash, which is the 6,300,000. Naman 6,300,000 ara siya, no? And may control premium na 300,000. So the book value is the 5 million, which is here. The book value ng 5 million multiplied by 60%. Kay 60% pala ang para kay Pluto. So 3 million. No? So the difference will be the allocated excess, and the undervaluation or overvaluation nga 2 million multiplied by the 60% will be 1,2. So the difference of that will be the positive or goodwill no, ang goodwill for the parent company. Muna siya. Now, how to compute for the non-controlling interest? So book value 5 million. So ang adjustment na 2 million, so ang total niya is 7 million multiplied by the 40%, which is the 2,800,000 will represent the partial, using the partial method, amo na siya ang magiging non-controlling interest. Now, what if full goodwill approach ang gamiton? No? What will be the amount na gamiton? So consideration transferred 6,300,000 and fair value of NCI, no? Given gina 4 million. Dito siya ara siya, no? 4 million. So ang fair value of the subsidiary is 10,300,000 muna siya. Kagina nag-allocate lang kita or nag-multiply divided by 80 kay tungod wala kita idea, no? Pero yan hatag ang fair value ni non-controlling interest nga 10 million. Now, the fair value of subsidiary will be 10,300,000. The book value of stockholders' equity, no, which is the 5 million, so ang allocated excess is 5,300,000. Kung mapansin nyo kagina dabi sa first problem, wala kita idea kung pila ang total nga fair value ni subsidiary. That's why kung ano ang ginbayad ni par company itong sa first illustration, dito na lang kita nag-base for the fair value ni subsidiary. But this time kay bala naton ang total nga fair value niya, dito kita nag-base, no? So the difference of that 5,300,000 and the over or under valuation will be 2 million and the difference will be the goodwill, no? And ang goodwill bal naton consists of 2 naman na siya, no? So 3,300,000 sa full, and ang controlling which is the parent makadto is 2,100,000 and the NCI nga goodwill will be 1,200,000. Iba ya pag-compute na kung kagina. Now, so how much is the controlling interest? Tong 2,800,000 plus the 1,200,000 nga goodwill. Ang total niya nga nga non-controlling interest is 4 million. Now, if the problem mag-ask if how much is the non-controlling interest using the full goodwill, amo ninyo i-answer. Pero kung using the partial method, ang 2,800,000 lang ang inyo nga i-answer. Okay? Let's go to the last problem. And pag-abot sa exam, I will only focus on these 3 computations, guys, no? On the computation of the computation of the goodwill using both nga method and the bargain purchase gain. So now this time may bargain purchase gain imbes nga goodwill, bargain purchase gain ang natabo. So paano? So parlor company acquires 75% of saloon company. So parlor will be the parent, saloon will be the subsidiary. No, common stock for 225,000. At the date, the non-controlling interest in saloon has a book value of 52,500 in the fair value of 82, ang non-controlling interest. No? Also on that date, saloon report identifiable assets with a book value of 400 and a fair value of 510. And it has a liabilities with a book and fair value of 190,000. So ang difference nila na edi amo na sila ilang net assets or equity, no? Now, using the partial goodwill method, so fair value, consideration transferred 225, no? 225. Book value, ang net assets niya 400 less 190, di nagkuha sila nga amount. Niyo 400 na book value na assets and 190 nga liabilities, di amo nila equity multiply by 75%, that will be the book value ni saloon, no, for the 75% ni share. Allocated excess will be 67,500. Now, paano natin nabalaan ng over and under valuation? So, ang sa net assets, no, ang sa net assets ni saloon, dra kita ma-base. So the difference between the book and the fair value of the net assets, as you can see here, yan, multiplied by 75% is 82,500. So mas dako, no? So may ara sang negative goodwill or ginatawag naton nga bargain purchase gain, no? And bargain purchase gain to controlling interest or attributable to parent only. Wala na tayo na belong for non-controlling interest. So the fair value of subsidiary using the full goodwill, no, amo naman yaton. So fair value of the subsidiary plus the fair value of non-controlling interest. So ang total niya 307,000 less the book value of 210. No, so difference nila nga 97 ang excess. But mas dako Japon ang over and under valuation. So may ara sang bargain purchase gain which is attributable to the parent only. Mula na akong fokusan danay for the examination. And that would be all, no, for the computation sang goodwill using the partial and the full goodwill method and the bargain purchase price, no, and the computation of the non-controlling interest. So if you have questions, please message me, no, through our GC. And thank you for listening. Bye.